Good morning, you guys. It is Merry Vlogmas day 21. We're getting so close to Christmas. It's really exciting. This particular video is going to be different from a lot of my other videos, but a lot of you have asked for a video about my filming process and just kind of what I do, maybe what gear, how I make these videos. I also want to give you guys a quick announcement that I am gonna take a week off for Christmas with my family. So from the 26th through New Year's Eve. So it's not a full week. I'm gonna try to make a video for you guys for New Year's Eve. I have something planned. We'll see if I can pull it off. So hopefully I can bring you a fun New Year's Eve video and we can celebrate the new year going into 2021. For those of you that are new, just know that I don't do daily vlogs. I do though bring a video at least every week. So please stay subscribed. Please check the community tab. Follow me on Instagram. I'm at supercalilistic so we can stay connected and I can keep bringing you all of my California adventures because I really love doing this and it's been a lot of fun. Okay, let's just talk gear, what I pack in my bag or what I use at the house when I'm filming. So this is pretty much my gear. You're looking at it. It's pretty simple. The most important piece of equipment is my cell phone. So I'm gonna switch and show you the cell phone that I'm using right now. Like I said, this is my most important piece of equipment. This is the newest iPhone 12 Pro. It is not the Max. I find the Max to be a little too big. This can fit in almost any pocket. It is my personal cell phone and it is also the most important piece of production equipment that I have. I have this case because it does get dropped and so far, knock on wood, it's protected it pretty well and it still fits into all of these mounts with this really thin case. This is just one of those standard iPhone cases. I got it when I got the phone this past summer. I like this cell phone because it does have 3 prime lenses, so I try to use those. I don't use a digital zoom unless I absolutely want to. So I switch back and forth between those 3 lenses to shoot just kind of on the go. And then as far as the selfie camera, it's okay, but I really prefer this cell phone to shoot, surrounding shots, scenic shots. The wide angle is really beautiful and it has an image stabilizer, so it's a pretty stable image. I actually don't know if there's a stabilizing image feature, but it just seems really stable to me. I do it completely handheld. I rarely put it on this just because I find this to be a little cumbersome, but I do now have this Steadicam. So I did get this Steadicam recently. And it is pretty cool. It takes some getting used to, so it definitely increases the time it takes me to set up. I'd say it's an additional 5 to 10 minutes depending on the video. Also, I do like that I can, with one hand, set my camera down with this. It's kind of tricky to do with one hand, but you can do it if you're patient. And you can set it down on a surface and then be hands-free. So for my live handheld videos, I use this. And again, I'm still getting used to it. It's really pretty tricky to operate if you're new to having a Steadicam. But let me show you how the cell phone mounts into it. Here's my cell phone. It's not balanced. It shouldn't be like that. It should be stable. So it needs some tinkering every time I use it just to make sure it gets really balanced before you turn it on. If you don't get it balanced, it will cause you some sound issues. Right now it's not even screwed on completely, so the mount's not really tight. So anyways, it's a little tricky, but that's not balanced. But it is a fun addition. It does kind of make noise when these clap together, so I just put a little bit of painter's tape to minimize the amount of noise that it makes when I'm walking around. You can unscrew this, but I do like this ability to set it down if I'm in the middle of a live video, and then that way I can set it down and be completely hands-free. This tripod is a really great tripod I've had for years. I don't even know where I got it. It's pretty quiet and it's pretty sturdy. I mostly use it with my Sony, because my Sony, there's a lot of camera shake. You'll notice right now I'm handheld with the Sony. You're gonna notice how shaky it is. So usually when I use the Sony camera, I use a tripod of some sort. This, when I'm at home, I usually don't take this on the go because it is pretty cumbersome and heavy. And then this, when I'm on the go, to minimize hand shake or to set it down somewhere on a hard surface and then have a very stationary still image through my Sony camera for vlogging. So this one I do take with me, and then it's got this little cell phone mount, or you can take that off and just mount the camera directly to this this tripod mount piece here. So this unscrews, and then you can screw it right into your camera, the bottom of your camera. I bring backup batteries. I do not bring this with me. This is just to charge the backup batteries, but I do always charge the night before I shoot. So I've never actually used the backup batteries, but I just feel like if I didn't carry them, I would need them. I have 3 in total, and then these are really neat. These are the windscreens. I'm gonna switch cameras to show you these. This is really great. So these are for the right and left microphones on this Sony camera. I've had this for years. This is the NEX 3N. And I actually don't recommend this camera. I just have had it for so long and it still works. This Sony camera cannot attach a microphone, so this really helps minimize wind noise when I'm outside because it's quite distracting. There's nothing like some wind noise to take your viewers out of the moment completely. And it does happen. Like recently it happened on my cell phone and I did not have windscreens. So I think I might glue a couple of these to the edge of my iPhone case to try to minimize the wind noise when I'm outside and using this Steadicam with my cell phone, especially for live videos, because I did get a lot of noise on one of my videos. I'll play it right now. Okay, there it is. Let's see, it looks like we walk in here on the right. So there you can see that that was really distracting. It really bothered me when I was editing, but you know, life goes on and I'll make improvements moving into 2021. So these are great. They're pretty inexpensive and well worth it. And the ones that I ordered, there was some backup because they do fall off really easily. So, you know, you can just replace them when they come off. Again, I don't recommend this camera just because there's so much camera shake and noise. But it's got a better microphone than my cell phone, and the lens is slightly better than my cell phone lens. So this is really great on a tripod. I use this for my talking heads, like at the beginning or end of my videos, because I feel like if I start with a better image and better sound, you guys are more likely to want to watch the video, where my cell phone shoots like beautiful landscape shots, but the microphone's not great. And the selfie camera is not that great. So I do use it, but just this is better for vlogging as long as it's stationary. If you're handheld, it's super shaky. I've tried it. I find it to be incredibly distracting. So I talked about the windscreens, and then I always bring a backup SD card for this camera just in case, and then a coin because you like to get these nice and tight. For example, this one's not nice and tight, and you saw that the mount just spin right out of place. So you want a coin to tighten that or loosen that. You'll get it a little tighter than with your fingers. Yeah, so that's all the gear. In addition to gear, I do bring with me just like a little bit of makeup. Even if you're not somebody who wears makeup, this is actually hand cream. I struggle a lot with eczema and dry skin. You can see right here, I'm having a little bit of it right there today. And I'm featuring my hands heavily when I go through merch search and like touch, you know, items and show you items. So my hands are pretty close up. So I try to keep them moisturized. I try to keep my nail polish on, but as you can see, it's chipped. I've been busy this week. So I highly suggest having hand cream just because the weather can be really rough on your skin and you're probably featuring your hands a lot if you're like me. And then if you don't wear makeup, no big deal, don't bring makeup. However, even if you're, you know, someone who doesn't wear makeup, or you're a guy and you're like, I don't wear makeup, this is just translucent powder, and it's not color, it's just to minimize shine, because shine can be really distracting. So I highly suggest bringing this and
doing some powder before you do talking heads, even if you're someone that doesn't wear makeup, because it'll just be less distracting if your head's not too shiny.
Okay, Raleigh's watching some of our old Disney videos back when we were in the park. Now I'm just gonna go over production gear. I do hope this is helpful, you guys, because it's a lot of information, but for those of you interested, I am currently using the MacBook Pro. It's a refurbished, gosh, I don't know what year, but it's working pretty well for me. I wanna say it's like maybe 2018. And I have external hard drives. They're 2 terabyte each. I use about 2 of these a year. And the reason I do 2 is because I double back up everything. I've had hard drives break or fail, and it's really heartbreaking when you lose video that you care about. I have this. It is an SD card reader. Before I had this MacBook Pro, I was editing on my cell phone, which I'm using to shoot right now. And you can load your videos to your cell phone with this. It's a little tricky in that you need a computer because you do have to first load the files onto the computer, open it up, and move them into the photo file. I know this sounds really complicated, so if you have any questions about using one of these and loading footage from your SD card to your cell phone, just give me a comment and I'll try to explain it in more depth, or maybe send me a message on Instagram at supercalilistic and I'll try to explain it a little better to you. But yeah, so there is a little bit of a file shuffling you need to do in order to load your videos to your phone and edit on your phone, but it is possible, and I have done it in the past. But currently I am loading my cell phone footage and my footage from my camera directly into my computer, into iMovie, and it's working really well. I do need this adapter because my cell phone cable and my Sony camera cable, so this is the cable I use to connect to my cell phone, is USB. So I do need this lightning to USB adapter. It works pretty well. I haven't really had much issue with it. I like that there's 3, so like I could hook up my camera or my cell phone and my 2 hard drives and back up my footage. These are headphones. These are actually, they were gifted to Jesse and I kind of commandeered them, and they're really great. I probably wouldn't spend what these cost on myself, but because he had them, they're really comfortable, they're noise canceling, and they're pretty high quality, so I do like using them, and they're lightweight. They have this nice little case. Okay, so I do have this adapter because when I'm using these headphones with my cell phone, I do need an adapter. So here is the adapter for the headphones, or I have this adapter so I can charge and use headphones at the same time, or I can charge and use a microphone at the same time. Microphones with this adapter are pretty tricky, and I've had a lot of issues with them working, so I just kind of gave up on using microphones with this newest iPhone. I really wish they would bring that headphone microphone jack back, because the adapters make the microphone so unreliable and the phone starts acting up. It starts to think that you're trying to activate Siri. It's really such a pain. So Apple, bring back the microphone headphone jack, please, for all of us doing production with our phone. But I do have this in the event that I want to get really brave and also attach like a lavalier. Again, it causes so many technical issues, it's not really worth it, but yeah, so that's that. I do use this app here. It's called Thumbnail Maker. It does cost something, I want to say it's just like a few dollars a year. I don't think it probably makes like the best thumbnails. I definitely see thumbnails I like more, but I know how to use it and it's pretty reliable. So it definitely makes my thumbnails better than if I were to just do nothing. But for now I'm using this. Eventually I might try to find an alternative. that I like better. So it's working though. It's a lot of work, but I do it. And then I also use it. This is the channel art section. So I use that for these green screen effects in iMovie. So anytime you see titles, I can put anything on a green screen background and then key it out. And that's something you can do on iMovie on the cell phone app or on the desktop computer. So if you have questions about green screen effects, just let me know. Once you get the hang of it, it's pretty easy and fun to use. So those are all like the post-production things I can think of that I use. I'm going to talk to you just for a minute about media management. So this is kind of boring, but it's so important, and it's media management. So I'm just going to take a moment to talk a little bit about media management. Again, just bear with me. It's not very sexy, but if I could hire one person, if I had the budget to hire one person, it would be someone to do all of the media, someone really reliable to do all of the media management, to back everything up, to keep everything really organized and accessible, because it's very time consuming and you're kind of dead in the water if you don't know how to do this. So video takes up a lot of space. If you don't know already, you probably do. And if you're a full-time vlogger, especially if you're someone doing videos every day, I think about the people doing videos every day. I'm like, I want to know their system because it's a lot of work. In fact, I was talking about media management this morning in a video, and my cell phone just like stopped recording and said your storage is full, which I thought was so ironic. So then I had to spend like the next 45 minutes backing up my cell phone onto these two hard drives here, and then deleting. I deleted about 500 video files off my phone to make room for this video and the rest of my Christmas videos. I probably go through about 500 gigabytes of storage every month or two. So it is a lot. And obviously it's more if you're filming every day like I am now versus if you're filming once a week. But it's a lot of space, and it can be really overwhelming really fast if you don't have a system. So what I do is I use image capture on my desktop. I find it to be pretty easy to use. And then I just throw all of my cell phone images into one folder for the year, and then I back it up, in a separate hard drive. And then all my Sony video I keep in one folder just labeled Sony. So in the past I used to categorize the folders, but it just got so time consuming to make separate folders for different events. And so now I just throw everything in there and trust that if I'm going to look for something, I'll have to just kind of remember the time of year and look through it by date. It's not a perfect system, but again, it takes so much time. Just to upload the files can take like 20 to 30 minutes, and then you've got to back those up. That's another 20 to 30 minutes. And then you've got to delete everything off your phone. So it all takes a lot of time. And then I I backed up my Sony card, and then I reformatted it. So I make sure it's double backed up before I reformat. But again, I'm having to back up and delete constantly. So I don't suggest cloud storage because I think it would get really expensive really fast if you really are accumulating a lot of video and you want to keep record of all of the work that you've done because you've worked hard. You deserve to keep it and keep the storage. Am I an information hoarder? Probably, but it's important to me. This is my passion. This is my artistic expression in a lot of ways. So I'm, sorry, Jesse's on the phone. He's getting a washer dryer. We're doing a lot of home improvement. So in 2021, there will be a few home updates too. So if you guys are into that, be looking for those in the new year. Because I work for myself and I'm not working with a team of people, I can kind of just do it my way. I can do it a little messy. I can do it a little unorganized because I know my mess. So that's why I feel like every person develops their own way when it comes to YouTube, their own, like maybe I don't write out scripts because I trust that I know what I need to make in each video. Do I make mistakes? Yeah, absolutely. But then I'm the only one that has to deal with those mistakes. There's no one else being like, you forgot to record, XYZ about this event. So I can rely on myself. I've been doing this long enough to kind of do everything on the fly, but depending on your temperament, you might need to be a little more organized when it comes to media management and other aspects of production. So that's that side. And then I want to talk to you about like some of my tech goals. Like if I had a budget or like more money to work with, what would I get? What's on my dream list? Okay, just a minute, sweetie pie. I decided to escape to my bedroom because it was getting a little noisy in the kitchen area because my kids, they just finished lunch and they're watching videos. So sorry about all the background noise. I am a stay-at-home mom, so my family is just part of the channel. If you're curious what I'm filming with now, it is my cell phone just because it's fast and we've got a lot to do today. So usually if I'm doing a talking head, I try to use my other camera because the sound is better and the image quality is slightly better. And I'm using that small tripod and the cell phone mount just to stabilize it a bit. My arms, when they start to get tired, it gets more and more shaky. I'm sure you've noticed. Again, this video is not like the highest, snappiest video, but for those of you that are really curious about the process, I wanted to make a video like this because I know that you've been asking. Camera goals. This for YouTubers is a really fun and sometimes stressful part of it. You know what you can do if you can level up your tech gear, but maybe it's just way too expensive. If I were to level up, I would definitely get a new camera body. The camera that I really want, I believe it's like the Sony A7C. I can't remember, but I'll put a link to everything that I'm talking about down below. I hope. I don't know. It's going to be really busy this week with Christmas. It would be a new Sony body that has a microphone attachment, so I have better sound, and that has an image stabilizer. So currently my Sony camera is really good on a tripod, but the image is very shaky if I go handheld. And the sound is so tricky because even though the microphone is better on my Sony than on my cell phone, whenever the camera is like focusing, or if I'm like going in it like from tight to wide or doing some kind of variable focus, not focus, like focal length, you hear the clicking of the camera. So that becomes really distracting. Sound is so important, and it's been something that's always been really difficult for me because to get good sound is so much more expensive. Just to give you an idea, just for that camera body, I think I could get it maybe refurbished for like $1,600. I'm guessing, that's just a number I'm guessing right now. And then a microphone, maybe I could get anywhere from like $100 to $600. So that's a significant amount of money to upgrade the image quality, like it being more stable image on the go and also better sound. But I do think you get such a more professional product if you're able to do that. So that's one of my big camera goals, is a new body. And the reason Sony is because I like my lenses. They're E-mount lenses, and I'd love to be able to keep using them because lenses also are really expensive. So to give you an idea, I think it's my 50mm prime lens, which we use for headshots because we do entertainment work, my kids and me. Anyways, I always hesitate on that one. We do headshots with it. And just to give you an idea, that was a big purchase. I want to say I bought that on sale or refurbished, but it's like $1,000 lens. So I don't really want to have a lens that I can't use. So I really want to stick with Sony, and I want to stick with camera bodies that are compatible with my E-mount lenses. So whatever system you're thinking about doing, whether it's Sony or Canon, just really be aware of what camera bodies your lenses are compatible with, because you don't want to spend a ton of money on lenses and then find out when you upgrade your camera body, they're not compatible with the lenses that you spent all this money on. So really think about what system works for you and what will transition well when you level up. My other goal would be some sort of lighting kit. So right now I'm using window light. I do find that available sunshine. Oh gosh, now I'm talking about lighting. That's like a whole different, I'll do a different section for that. Okay, so tech goals. I'm getting distracted really easily. I have ADD, so thank you for your patience, you guys, because I'll think of something and be like, oh, I want to talk about that now. So as far as my tech goals, my other goal would be to have some sort of lighting kit. I'm going to go over lighting briefly with you guys, but if I cannot find a setup that's across from great available light, meaning sunlight through a window, I'd like to be able to set up the shot and be able to light it, at least in my house. I'm not gonna go out on the streets with a light kit. Honestly, my cell phone does pretty good in low light, and it does have a light if I absolutely need one. So I'm probably not gonna it's already really hard to have like a tripod, a microphone, and all the other like batteries. It's enough to travel with, especially because I'm traveling with kids. But then I'm not gonna also bring like light attachments. Like it's just not gonna happen. Realistically, I'm a long way from that. You need like crew, I feel, to travel outside with lights. However, indoors, stationary, you absolutely could have a light kit and be able to shoot in any part of your house any time of day. So I like that flexibility because right now I'm really limited to available light. Like right now I'm across from my bedroom window and it's getting great afternoon light here and it's looking good. So I do think available light from the sun is probably better than any light kit available. But if you're in a situation where maybe I want to shoot against that wall, or not that wall, I want to shoot against this wall and then see if I move this way, you see all the shadows on my face. So if I could if I want to shoot like a big wide angle shot right up against my headboard, I don't have a window across from me. So it'd be really nice to set up a light and be able to do this angle. So right now I'm really limited to whichever windows. You can see the difference. Isn't that crazy? I'm limited to whatever windows are available, and then the backdrop I just have to deal with. So I like that flexibility in my house to have some sort of light kit. I don't really know what light kit it would be. I have to do a lot of research. Oh, and a dash cam, like some sort of tripod and or camera that can be stationary in my car, that I can get really cool driving shots and be completely hands-free. So I don't know if that's a GoPro, and a mount that's on my dash, but I see people do it. They do really neat time-lapse shots when they're on road trips or vlogging shots and they're driving. So right now I don't have a tripod, or not tripod, like a camera mount in my car, so I can do those kind of cool driving shots hands-free. So that would be something else that would be really fun to play with and share with you guys. This is not direct sunlight, but the sun is on this side. Not horrible. What?
Both Lantis and Hemlock?
I hope so. And then also her needles. Okay. So this is the sun side. You can see it's a little shinier, but I'm not in direct sunlight. But watch what happens when I walk into the direct sunlight. Whoa. So not only is it hard for me to see, I'm super blown out. It's just much harsher. And especially because I'm in the desert. Forget it. I can't even see the camera right now. But so once I walk, and also look at those harsh shadows from the camera. See that? So then when I walk into the shade, it's still pretty nice, but you can see there is a little more glare because the sun is on this side. So you want the sun, look, I'll shoot out here. I don't always shoot the most perfect light, but if you're really looking to optimize the available light, you want to go to the side that the sun is not hitting that side of your house directly. So maybe a south facing window or a north facing window, depending on what hemisphere you're in. Yeah, so just experiment with that, experiment with the window light. Ideally, I think as far as setup, I don't love what I have right now as far as setup, because what happens is a lot of my space that's across from these windows. Right now I'm across from some really nice window light, but the room is really deep. So ideally I'd have a backdrop here, but I just don't have that set up right now. So I'm just dealing with the setups that I've got. The same thing here, you can see there's a lot of depth. I don't think this looks great with a wide angle, but the reason I keep shooting this angle is because I am across from this beautiful available light. So if I were to prioritize light versus backdrop, I personally prioritize light. Now, if I had a lighting kit, I could film this way. And I do think when you're across from your backdrop in a wide angle photo, it looks so much better. It's just less distracting. You become more of the focal point. And then when you have this long depth, it just doesn't work with the wide angles. So I don't love this, but again, I don't have a light kit. So I always make lighting a priority over backdrop, but you know, life goals, I like to have a light kit and be able to shoot like this into the kitchen, or like, you know, well, see, that's too deep. You don't want a lot of distracting stuff in the background. So it's better if this actually isn't horrible this time of day. So that's good. The fly swatter, I'd probably move that. So yeah, and you know, our fledgling tiki bar there. Okay, anyways, just let me know if you guys have any questions. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope it was informative. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe and tap the bell, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Merry Vlogmas, bye.